Fret not, friends. The Fan is still live and local with Fan Sports Saturday. Sure, the name might not be great, but what if we included Dane Sanzenbacher, a 4-year letterman at Ohio State, MVP of the 2010 football season, a former Cincinnati Bengal, and a man with 4 pairs of gold pants.
Fired to the 15, to the 10, and taken down at the 8 is Terrell. Football fumbled at the end of the play. It's in the end zone and recovered by an Ohio State player for a touchdown.
Is that Dane Sanzenbacher?
It sure looks like it. He fell on the fumble in the end zone. Dane Sanzenbacher.
It's Fan Sports Saturday with Buckeye heartthrob Dane Sanzenbacher.
I think he's just dreaming.
Oh, and Eric Reeser, too.
14 days.
So how long do you plan to stay on Mars?
2 weeks.
Have you brought any fruits or vegetables onto the planet?
2 weeks.
2 weeks, kids. Ohio State and Akron, 3:30, August 31st. Technically, we've got 1 week till actual college football, but I don't know how much people are going to be paying attention to week 0. Dane Sanzenbacher, Jacob Reimer in with me, Eric Reeser, until 1 o'clock today. We're here. We were kind of here last week. Dane, we were talking about meaningful football being played. And yeah, preseason contests, I think, are such when you have starters playing. But this becomes we've got one more Monday where you're not looking forward to a Buckeye game week.
Yeah, I think we're getting some answers. We're getting closer to it.
Oh, we got the answer this week.
But a lot of the big questions for me are still out there, and it feels like we're getting closer. It's a little bit of a downer that Akron. How much are we going to learn? We'll learn a little bit, but it's a step in the right direction that we can stop kind of speculating on what might be, and get it down to what or who this team actually is.
I think, and this might be just me telling myself this, I think you can learn a lot from Akron because while, again, you get to the quarterback announcement that was made this week, Will Howard, QB1, for those unaware, Devin Brown, QB2, but Julian Sain nipping at those heels. And I do think, and again, we'll hear from Ryan Day, we'll hear from Chip Kelly, the two main deciders for this, that they would like it to be Julian Sain at QB2, and he factors to be the future of Ohio State football. Now, with a portal era that it is in college football, what does the future necessarily mean? That could mean 6 months, that could mean a year, that could mean 2 years, probably not much longer than that.
There's an interesting, we'll touch on it later, there's an interesting danger there too.
But with Akron, you expect that when the lines come out for it, Ohio State's a 35-point favorite in this. Zips aren't a good football team, despite having a feisty kangaroo as their mascot. But I think you can learn a lot. And again, might just be me, Eric Reeser, telling myself this, in how Ohio State handles business, how early they're able to get the ones off the field, and then how do the twos look with a full complement of Ohio State's offense. Because as 2 weeks from now, you begin that long march to January 20, where you want to summit this college football mountaintop in the College Football Playoff National Championship. January 20, 2025, it would behoove you as much as you can to get as many players actual game reps so that if in the case of emergency, when you get into November, when you get into December in the college football playoff, you have to break that glass. You're confident that that person can step up and play adequately. Even better than that, maybe.
Those are fair points. Why I feel you don't learn that much from it is because, for me, my questions about Ohio State are not talent. And they haven't been over the past few years.
Been a minute since you've had those questions.
We haven't had talent questions. We don't have them now. So if you can out-talent Akron, which you will, and get your guys off the field, the questions that linger with Ohio State are what's the mentality here? Who are you guys all mentally? And where do you show up in those big moments? The talent hasn't been the question. That's why I'm chomping at the bit to get in a big situation.
An actual game.
It's the only way to see who they are.
Akron.
Sorry, Akron. But it's
and Marshall and Directional Michigan.
It's the only way to know. Like, other than that, we're just going to either pump ourselves up and say, like, oh, yeah, we're so great. But, like, this is going to be a long season. And those challenges for us a lot of times come between the ears of the players and the coaches of who we are in these situations, because talent takes you, anymore when they get to the playoff, everybody's going to be talented.
Yes.
With 12 teams. Who's going to be gritty? Who is going to grind it out? Who is the tougher team? At the end of the day, it's football.
Though, this fan base. You know how
familiar, yes.
It has to be a complete and utter ass whooping of Akron, of Marshall, of Western Michigan. You even got to win the bye week. And then even against Iowa, if you're not beating them by 21 points, is there a problem with Ohio State's offense? Because going into that Oregon game, the fan base is going to feel like if it wasn't 4 consecutive, with, again, that bye week thrown in there, dominant performances, because as you saw with the Associated Press, you saw with the coaches poll last week, Ohio State and Oregon are right there, 2 and 3 respectively.
Yeah, you want to see them not play, again, no disrespect, Akron. You want to see them not play down to the competition. That's the number one thing that'll get the fan base fired up if something like that happens. It's tough. It's tough to learn a lot as a team when you're not going to be that tested. But yes, we're going into the season. We're excited to get it started, but there's going to be those first few weeks of how big is the blowout, speculation over what should have happened. Was it big enough? I just feel like that talent gap is getting further and further.
Yes.
We almost lost to Navy when I was a junior, first week of the year.
Remember that?
Yeah. And that was like the scare of the century, but we didn't they were actually a pretty good team.
They're a really good team.
To be honest with you.
That year, I remember sitting there watching them, triple offense. Like, everybody's going to have issues with that.
Well, yeah, those are the games that I think are more interesting to me. Matching Ohio State talent-wise up with a team that's solid, but just different.
Yep.
Akron, I just feel, or any of these first 3 opponents, I feel like there's going to be just kind of, they can power their way through based on talent. So, yeah, the speculation game will begin in the next...
It's already begun.
Weeks.
Brian Baker just sent this to me, and I can't tell if this is real or not. And it looks like it's from DraftKings.
Yeah, I was watching your face over there when I was talking. I was like, is some big news breaking?
Ohio State, this is to DraftKings, and this is from Ryan Baker. So I don't know how adept he is at Photoshop. I'm looking at 50.5 points is the spread for the Buckeyes and the Zips 2 weeks from today.
I really want these games to be out of college football. I really want to be.
You're talking about the betting?
No.
Or the Ohio State playing cupcake?
These matchups. If you're at that point, there's an argument to be made. If you're a 50-point favorite, you might be talking about it's actually dangerous for these two teams to go up against each other.
They have no business sharing the same football field.
You might be talking they don't have
ESPN,
business.
50.5 points.
I don't know who wins here. I don't know who wins. I guess we're playing a game, sure, but with how big the conferences are getting, you feel like I just hope with all of this, and I've said this before, with all the changes in getting this closer to being the NFL, that the parity and competition reaches that point on the college level too. That you don't have week 1 matters, week 2 matters. Yeah. You don't have these throwaway games. A 50-point favorite. I don't know. Maybe it's me. I don't care to see it or find it to be interesting football.
So I'm with you on wanting Ohio State to be more ambitious with their non-conference scheduling. To not have, and you'll get this next year because I think week 1 for Ohio State in 2026 is Texas. And so that'll be at the Horseshoe. That'll be Arch Manning's first start with the Longhorns, pending everything goes well for Quinn Ewers this season. And we kind of hope it does. And we'll talk more throughout this show. Like, my rooting interest for former Buckeyes is always there, despite them maybe wearing burnt orange and Quinn was here for a cup of coffee, but I still hope the best for him. Now, hopefully it doesn't come at the expense of Ohio State, but I hope the best for Justin Fields, despite wearing a Pittsburgh uniform and being a Browns fan. So I want ambitious scheduling that doesn't include, I think you can make for a game like this where you're playing an Ohio team from the Mid-American Conference. You're giving them $2 million to beat them by 30, but just one. And you've got directional Michigan, maybe week 4, I think it is. Week 3 or 4 can be that placeholder. But week 1, week 2, you're doing like a Notre Dame, Texas A&M will be that night.
Yeah.
That's a game I want in the beginning of the season for the Buckeyes. But if you've heard Ross Bjork talk about it, if you've heard other coaches even within the conference, that because the college football playoff is expanding, you're going to get those marquee games later in the season. It might not do you as a team looking to just get in the college football playoff any good to have a game week 1, week 2 that you need to be at 100% for, if that makes sense.
Yeah, there's not incentive to do it. I get why you would schedule. That's why the system, if you're building it, there's no other sports league where you're just scheduling your own stuff. This school that you guys figure out. Okay, you talk
you
to
guys
Akron,
do it. Let us know.
You figure out who you're playing.
Yeah.
You let us know. You do this contract. There's like, here's our number of teams. Here's our 32 teams. We're gonna play each other. It's the only way to. I mean, every sports league in the world has these people are in the league and we play each other. There's no other comparison to this. My hope is it gets to that point because, yes, every school is just going to be like, okay, the playoff's the game, or the playoff is the season. How do we most easily and healthily, is healthily a word? Healthfully?
Yeah, I think, I don't know if it is, but everybody understands the point you're trying to make. And that's where I'm at on making up words.
Yeah.
As long as you get what I'm trying to say, here's the word.
Yeah, I think they got it.
Yeah.
That's going to be the game.
Yeah.
How can I most easily get to that playoff? But to me, it's just not. I don't see who wins.
You're hoping Ohio State by 51 points.
Yeah, in that sense, yes. That is a win, and let's move on. Sure.
There is, you'll have a week 0 slate of games. Florida State and Georgia Tech are going to be playing at noon next Saturday in Dublin, Ireland.
Love
Does
that.
that do anything for you?
Yes. I
Yeah?
think that's fun. I like those away games. When I was my rookie year in Chicago, I got to play the international game in London.
Okay.
And as an experience, it was as cool as it gets. So that's I like that the kids get a chance to go over there, see something different, because it's an odd experience.
Yeah.
It's very weird having fans that are just fans of the sport in general. Well, obviously Notre Dame will have a big following, but I mean, having fans that are just a fan of the game,
just like college football.
They don't have a dog in the fight. When we were in London, it was jerseys of all kinds
Every
of teams.
team.
Every team.
That is cool.
It was really cool. And cheering for both sides. It was a surreal experience.
But college football officially back in our lives this time next week. Again, those week 0 games. And I do think, Dane, with the expanded college football playoff, we talk about that January 20 national championship game. I don't think the college football calendar is going to go forward into February. I think what you're going to see happen is it moves backwards. And so from 5 years from now, are we talking mid-August now, becomes the start to your season? Is that the official week 1 of the sport? To then when you can give, and I don't know how much further past 12 teams it's going to expand. I get the sense that there might be a couple more teams added, but not too much more, because at what point are you just going to look at the trail of bodies you leave this season from players getting injured and players just not able to make that 15, 16-week slog?
The trail of bodies.
It's going to come back to bite you. Like, this is a game humans are not intended to play, but play because everybody's addicted to it. Like, it's Ohio. We're in late August. It's football season. You got high school football starting next Friday. I'm thinking, and I want to know if you agree with me or not, that we look at August as becoming like that week 1, week 2, and then you make it more front-loaded, smaller summer. But yeah, 5 years from now, I think that's where you're going to start to see.
Yeah, it could be. I would agree that I don't really see them trying to push back too far into when's Super Bowl usually scheduled?
Second week in February.
Yeah. So I could definitely see them doing that. It'd be interesting how it plays out with. I mean, at least there used to be some kind of constraints with when actual school was starting, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm sure there's going to be that's more and more on the back burner of mattering.
The student-athlete thing, yeah, especially for football and basketball.
I don't actually even know why I brought that up.
Less and less.
Yes, I would think.
But schools will use it.
Yeah.
So I think it's a valid point.
It's something that will come up that will be a consideration. But yeah, I could see them bumping it up. Maybe even some kind of pseudo preseason. I know they kind of can probably consider this is what Akron is.
Feels preseason-y.
It feels preseason-y. So maybe there's room for it in that and just bump those up to the early summer games.
Because you've got Super Bowl 57 was played on February 12th. So they're not trying. And I think what you're going to see as the college football playoff, that first round, that Saturday is going to go up against 2 NFL games. You've got Patrick Mahomes versus C.J. Stroud. You're going to go up against a college football semifinal game. And then you've got Steelers-Ravens, the nightcap. And so where I talk about a trail of bodies, I think the college football playoff is going to get bodied by the NFL because of what they're offering. So the National Football League has no interest in giving up any ground
to anybody. You don't want to go head to head.
Don't fight them.
Yeah.
You can't.
You don't.
So we'll see about the calendar. I think everybody has so many questions going into this football season that you're never going to get any real answers with until February of 2025. And then as it is, or as it's felt like for the past 10 years, we're kind of moving and learning as we go. We did learn a very important thing this week because we asked, Ryan Day delivered. That's next. It's Sports Saturday on The Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. I just freaked the hell out of someone. The Fan.
Bobby Carpenter here for Germain Toyota. Ready for a new ride? Swing by Germain Toyota, ask for my friend Marcello, and discover unbeatable deals and a wide selection of new and certified pre-owned Toyota vehicles. Visit GermainToyota.net and drive away in style today. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
The delicious ice-cold taste of Dr. Pepper has a lasting effect on people. Lindsay from Sacramento said,
Pro tip, 40 degrees is the perfect temperature for an ice-cold Dr. Pepper.
why is 40 degrees the perfect temperature for Dr. Pepper? We brought in Sue from Duluth, Minnesota to tell us.
Oh, yeah, I know a thing or two about cold. Oh, that right there is the perfect kind of ice-cold for Dr. Pepper. I'd share that with my friend Nancy. She likes Dr. Pepper, too, you know. My coldest...
All right, that'll be all, Sue. Having a perfect temperature for your Dr. Pepper? It's a pepper thing. Inspired by real fan posts.
This is the White Castle Call of the Crave, and it's telling you to come in now for 10 cheese sliders for just $7.99. 10 cheese sliders for just $7.99. Boom! White Castle. Follow your crave. Limited time only, tax not included.
Let's get something straight. I'm not here to convince you to use cannabis or to try cannabis. I'm here to tell you that since medical cannabis is legal in this state, Veriheal can help you get your medical cannabis card with no hassle if you qualify. Just go to Veriheal.com, meet with a state-licensed medical doctor online, and, if approved, get your card. There's no fee if you don't qualify, so check it out today. Veriheal. Veriheal.com.
At AAA, it's our policy to look on the plus side, and AAA Plus members tend to take the same view. Take Martin. Last Monday, his coffee surprised him with an extra 10 degrees of Fahrenheit. It was just the jolt of energy he needed. Later, when he walked into a door, he was happy to provide entertainment for his coworkers.
I'm okay.
And when his car battery took early retirement, he knew expert roadside assistance was only a call away.
Hello, AAA.
Become a AAA Plus member and experience peace of mind on the plus side. Towing is subject to a 7-day waiting period. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
This season on Nada Yada Island.
You were charging your phone? I waited hours for you.
That's how long it takes.
Join Metro and get a free Motorola Edge that'll charge for the day in 15 minutes. At Metro, there's no activation fees. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Bring your number ID and sign up for Metro Flex Plus plan. Offer not available if at T-Mobile or have been with Metro in the past 180 days. Requires 68-watt charger, sold separately. Actual performance will vary.
Sunday's the time for brunching with your favorite people. And when they don't invite you, listen to us instead. Fan Sports Sunday with Tito and Dabir Posey.
Sunday morning starting at 11.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Murphy Tractor and Equipment is your source for John Deere construction equipment rental. We rent high-quality equipment and attachments with add-on options in TopCon precision construction technology. Whether you need 1 week or 6 months, we rent a variety of equipment to help you get the job done. All our rental equipment is fully serviced, fueled, and ready to get to work. Let Murphy Tractor be your first choice for your construction equipment rental needs. Visit us online at murphytractor.com.
Common Man here for Universal Windows Direct. Football season is here, and you know what that means. Fall is just around the corner. Cooler temperatures on the way. If you've been dealing with drafty windows all summer, struggling on those crazy hot days, your AC just can't keep up, now is the perfect time to upgrade with Universal Windows Direct. Call them today, 614-502-5220. For every 2 windows you buy, you get 2 free. Plus 0% financing for 60 months. Restrictions apply because they always do. Go to UWD.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
It's time that we face the facts when it comes to organ, eye, and tissue donation. It exists to save and heal lives. It's a way to look out for one another, to continue a legacy and give the gift of a fuller future, the gift of life.
But what about the barriers around organ donation?
Cost, age, religion, race, or health status are not factors that can get in the way. All it really takes is one epic yes. Register today to become an organ, eye, and tissue donor at DonateLifeOhio.org.
Hi, I'm
I'm Joanna Williams, General Manager at Tansky Sawmill Toyota, and this month 0% financing is backed by popular demand on the 2024 Toyota Tundra for 48 months. But hurry in before they're gone. Visit TanskySawmillToyota.com for details. And when you think Toyota, think Tansky with approved credit, tax, title, and $250 doc fee not included. Offer ends August 30th.
Think Toyota. Think Tansky. Think Tansky.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Skies are dry for now, but showers and thunderstorms arrive later today. Those get started after 2 p.m. and then continue into the evening hours. The main concern will be strong winds and large hail, but it wouldn't surprise me if we see some quick downpours as well. I'm meteorologist Madison Reich with your weather impact forecast on The Fan.
Just because it's the weekend doesn't mean we shut up. This is Fan Sports Saturday.
And definitely not the weekend that's before the weekend that's before college football season. Week 1, 2 weeks from today, you're going to have Ohio State and Akron. Buckeyes are 50.5-point favorites over the Zips. So Vegas clearly doesn't fear the Roo. Although this does actually, now that I think about it, feel kind of like a sucker's gambit because I don't expect Ohio State to beat Akron by 51 points because the total points is 58.5. So, right?
So they're
so Akron, you get 6 points,
you get
7 points. I guess. I good luck. I'm not a gambling man for good reason. But
depending on what the team total is for Ohio State, that might not be a bad play.
Sure.
They should be able to put up 50 or close to it.
They should be able to score 50 on Akron, but that feels like if they're going to do that in the second half, you're doing a lot of running the ball with your 2 freshman running backs that have done really well in camp. If Ohio State is in a position where they're scoring 50 points on Akron, I don't want to see in the second half Will Howard or Quinshon Judkins or Travion Henderson or Mecca Igbuka or Donovan Jackson. Like the 2s go. The 2s go with Julian Sain. The 2s go with Devin Brown. And you let them run the full complement of Ohio State's offense with the 2s. And you get everybody as much game reps as possible. Does it sound ridiculous, Dane?
Yeah, well, Eric, I think the game sounds ridiculous.
Oh, I know that. We got to get you. We got to get you over that.
I'm not quite over it yet. I was actually just sitting here thinking, wait, what if they actually spotted them the points instead of the spread? Like you actually spotted them and then made Ohio State chase that score the whole game until they got there.
So that could make it a little bit more interesting because what you're going to need to do.
From a fan, it would be interesting if they started the scoreboard. It's like, okay, we're going to go 45-0 in quarter 1. The Zips are up.
And Ohio State's got to catch up to that.
Let's go. Yeah.
Actually, very compelling television. I'll tell you that much. So
yeah, wishful thinking.
What you're going to have to do, though, is figure out what gets you excited about this for the fans' pregame show.
What I think would get me excited about it, taking off my "this is a silly game" hat, would be...
Can't wear that on campus.
Can't wear that on campus. Would be seeing who these backups are.
Yeah.
Or seeing, Julian Sain in actual live game reps. Because while it is Akron, it is also a game.
Yeah.
These are real tackles. These are real. So you can't really fake that. So I think learning who those guys are that aren't the starters, that's the play. Or that's what's exciting about that game, to be able to see those backups.
Yeah.
And who you got. I know we talk a lot about, this, we're going to have to play 3 quarterbacks this year. I sure hope not. I mean, I don't know. I've not seen that. We've seen it work in 14, but only because it had to.
I mean, you had to break glass 3 times.
You don't want to have to break glass. That's why it's a funny narrative that's around here right now. That's, we want to, all the guys are going to have to play because Will Howard's going to run and get hurt. I don't love that.
That's not the case.
I don't love that as that's your plan. Like we're planning on him getting hurt. I guess they've got to be prepared, but you don't see it work very often.
No, you do not. And I think I don't know if it's valid PTSD for the fan base, but we still remember, despite what we want the Men in Black to come in and neuralize us from the Cotton Bowl. We saw what happened there. And how you had Kyle McCord leave very unexpectedly, and then Devin Brown comes in and he's injured, and Lincoln Keenholz comes in and he's just not prepared at all behind what was, I think, a very unserious presentation by Ohio State's offense.
I don't think who really cares about the Cotton Bowl?
So
I think that's the sentiment.
It should be.
I wouldn't make plans based on we don't want the Cotton Bowl to happen again.
No.
If the Cotton Bowl happens again, if we're in the position of the Cotton Bowl happening again, it's a completely different story.
You're having different conversations.
Who cares who's behind center?
Yeah.
Yes, we'd like it to look a little bit better, that you could see like, oh, here's a guy who's got a flash. Here's a guy that could be the future. But really, the Cotton Bowl was another one of those games that it didn't feel like there was life in the team that was playing it.
Yeah, which is
like
valid.
There was just jerseys floating around out there.
But I will push back and say that the Cotton Bowl and the lack of preparedness for the quarterbacks and what had happened to get you into the Cotton Bowl were the catalyst for Ohio State going out and getting a guy like Will Howard. Because you saw in your quarterback room, while I don't think there was fair preparation for Devin and fair preparation for Lincoln, you needed a quarterback that could get you over the hump against a team like Missouri. That was their Super Bowl. Like, you saw how those players reacted at the end of the thing. Like, where for Ohio State, it was a very unserious performance, but for Missouri, it was everything for them. It's catapulted the Tigers to be ranked 11th going into this season. Maybe a team you see in the college football playoff. And so for this coaching staff, going out and getting a quarterback that can get you over the hump with all of the talent around you, I think was an issue that was glaring during the season. Because while Kyle McCord was good, while Devin Brown in spots, okay, you didn't have the guy that can get you over the top. And that's why I think made them understand that a quarterback in the portal was going to be their a quarterback in the portal was where they were going to find themselves if they wanted to make the change in this season.
Right, and they did that. So they went and got their guy.
Yep.
And we fully expected him to be a starter since it was announced. It felt like you handpicked this guy. He's got to be the guy. What I'm saying is, when there's a quarterback battle in preseason, when a guy wins it and that's your starter, your job as a backup changes during the year. I know they will all say to you, I'm preparing as if I'm the starter. But there's a difference between being a backup and that's your job, and competing throughout the year to be the starter. You almost don't want that. You know, once you're in that backup role, you are in support of helping this ship steer towards its ultimate goal, and that is supporting the starter as much as you can, not necessarily trying to take his job or outperform him. Now, great, there's healthy competition, but I mean, in my experience in any NFL locker rooms or even in college, having a clear pecking order has always been, you almost never have player A and player B. The most dangerous thing in the world is to have a super, super talented QB2. Because you have one slip up with QB1.
Backup's always the most popular player on any team.
Absolutely. Who is everybody going to be calling for? Oh, well, the unknown talent that's sitting right behind you. So that's why I've always been, pick a guy. Quarterback is such an important position, but, their role when they are number two during the season almost changes. So it's not, that's why the Missouri game, it's not really fair to expect those guys to step into, because their role was just to support Kyle. Kyle was the guy. Yeah, you want to prepare, but it's a different world. That's not your team. And I would also, if we end up seeing Missouri in the playoff this year, let's say, that is going to be a much different game because it's going to matter. Versus
you're going to see a serious
Cotton Bowl that is like great for sponsors and universe. Yeah. But everybody knows that it's just the Cotton Bowl.
And we had asked, Ryan Day delivered, Will Howard QB1, and he will be the guy going into this season. You'll hear from Ryan Day. You'll hear from Chip Kelly on that decision next at Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Bobby Carpenter doesn't have a mullet, but he's knee-deep in mullet energy. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekdays starting at 6.
The Fan.
Billiards Plus has everything for the master griller in your house. Come to their showroom, open the lid, and feel the difference in their grills. Professional top-quality equipment at great prices with a huge selection ready to go home with you. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
When there's a United Dairy Farmers nearby, made from scratch ice cream is too. Stop by while 2-dip cones are buy one, get one free. All flavors, including peach and cookies and cream. UDF ice cream, made for you.
Common Man and T-Bone here. Visit Hollywood Casino Columbus this summer for exciting live sports action. We got the biggest screens around, and ESPN Bet is live in Ohio.
Plus, Penn Play Rewards members can win up to $500 Penn Cash every week. Visit PennPlaySports.com/cover5 today and register for your chance to play and win.
Not a member? Get the Penn Play app today.
Hollywood Casino Columbus is your live sports headquarters.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Boss on your back? Break away from the office and head on over to Delaware Golf Club. Grab a group, play 18, and afterwards unwind with a drink by the Fire Pit Bar and Patio. Online booking makes it easy to secure your tee time. So come check out Central Ohio's home for premier golf at Delaware Golf Club.
Hi, Bob and Teresa Capace here. Anniversaries are a big deal and meant to be celebrated.
Join us for our 24th anniversary at Worthington Jewelers. Enjoy 10 to 60% off to celebrate this event, August 15th through the 17th.
Worthington Jewelers, your local hometown jeweler.
August may seem like the end of summer. It also means the beginning of a lot of things, like back to school, festivals, football. At Buckeye Lake Marina, it means the August savings days are upon us. Get huge discounts on all of the new and used boats that they didn't sell. Every pontoon, tri-toon, sport boats, even fishing boats are ready for you. Save thousands on demo models that have been used all summer to show off amazing features. Some have never even been in the water. Take advantage of the August savings days at Buckeye Lake Marina. Their summer hours continue through the entire month of August. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com for details.
The Fan Tailgate is back at the Ozone on Lane.
Sponsored by your Central Ohio Ford dealers, Hollywood Casino, and TNT Equipment.
Admission is free. Join us for food, fun, and tipsy radio hosts. The Fan, Ohio's tailgating destination.
Next. The last thing you want to do is take another trip to the doctor's office.
And sign here and here and here.
Save yourself the hassle by visiting VeriHeal.com to talk to a state-licensed medical provider about medical cannabis. You'll see if you pre-qualify in just a few minutes. Simple as that. That'll make your day go from this to this. Visit VeriHeal.com. VERIHEAL. VeriHeal.com.
Welcome to the plus side, where a AAA Plus membership means that an empty gas tank won't keep you from a full day, and where a dead battery can't stop you from being the life of the party. Because on the plus side, roadside mishaps don't have to ruin your day. With AAA Plus, tire changes, battery swaps, and emergency fuel are just a tap away. AAA gets to you faster, and if you need a tow, we'll take you further. Become a member today and experience peace of mind on the plus side. Towing is subject to a 7-day waiting period. Terms and conditions apply.
The delicious ice-cold taste of Dr. Pepper has a lasting effect on people. Lindsay from Sacramento said,
Pro tip, 40 degrees is the perfect temperature for an ice-cold Dr. Pepper.
Why is 40 degrees the perfect temperature for Dr. Pepper? We brought in Sue from Duluth, Minnesota to tell us.
Oh, yeah, I know a thing or two about cold. Oh, that right there is the perfect kind of ice cold for Dr. Pepper. I'd share that with my friend Nancy. She likes Dr. Pepper, too, you know. My coldest...
All right, that'll be all, Sue. Having a perfect temperature for your Dr. Pepper? It's a Pepper thing. Inspired by real fan posts.
Murphy Tractor and Equipment is your source for John Deere construction equipment rental. We rent high-quality equipment and attachments with add-on options in TopCon precision construction technology. Whether you need 1 week or 6 months, we rent a variety of equipment to help you get the job done. All our rental equipment is fully serviced, fueled, and ready to get to work. Let Murphy Tractor be your first choice for your construction equipment rental needs. Visit us online at murphytractor.com.
Pop quiz. What's the best way to go back to school? With Giant Eagle and Market District, of course. From lunchbox favorites to fun after-school snacks, shop deals for school days and save on thousands of items throughout the store. Visit your local Giant Eagle or Market District today.
End the summer with Zumbizi Bay. Soak up the sunshine and dive into an unforgettable experience for the whole family. Get your tickets now and make your final splash at ZumbiziBay.com.
Instead of annoying national people talking to you this weekend, we've opted for annoying local people. This is Fan Sports Saturday.
Yes, it is. Eric Reeser, Dane Sanzenbacher, Jacob Reimer rolling along until 1 o'clock. The week before week one in college football. And Dane, last week when we did the show, we had asked, and we kind of asked with the understanding that sooner rather than later, Ohio State would announce the starting quarterback. And I think we had both said that it is in the best interest of everybody. And by everybody, I'm casting the widest net I possibly can.
That counts us.
Every single person, yes. That it would be in their best interest because we need stuff that we don't really need stuff to talk about, actually. This week it felt, Dane, like with every sport, that we're drinking from a fire hose. Because Ohio State, in the past, would only trickle. And I know information, and coaches and availability. And I know when you were a player, it would trickle. Like, yeah, you get Jim. Yeah, you'd get a player or two.
No, Tress wasn't going to give you anything.
But you weren't getting anything from those availabilities.
Yeah.
Where on Thursday, you had Ryan Day, and you had Chip Kelly, and you had Jim Knowles. And so they kind of just took the wrench to the fire hydrant, said, here you go. And while it's wonderful for us, it's almost like, whoa, that's too much. Now, for Ohio State content, it can never be too much, especially now that you can get it in every single thing. Like, we're on YouTube, we're on the radio. This will be a podcast later on in the day. There's no way you cannot get the fan, and there's no way you cannot get good, competent, quality Buckeye talk. But QB1 was the question, right? It was, hey, let's make this decision sooner rather than later so you can tell the team, so you can let the team operate under the idea that Will Howard, who we knew because they went out and got him from the transfer portal, was going to be the leader of this team. And, of course, on Thursday, Ryan Day walks into the room. First question, do you have a starting quarterback?
Will Howard will start in the first game against Akron. He is our starting quarterback. I think that, Chip has done a great job of rolling the quarterbacks from the first day of spring all the way to now. I think we're 12 or 13 practices in here, so you're talking almost 27, 28 practices. And when you take the aggregate of all the numbers, Will graded out significantly ahead of the other guys in the teamwork. And Devin right now would be the number 2. Now we still have a big scrimmage on Saturday, so these guys are going to continue to work. Julian, Lincoln, Air, they're all going to compete. We're going to try to get as many reps as we can. We are currently still rolling 3 groups, so there's a lot of reps to go around. But we're excited about Will being the starter. Will has really taken a command of the offense, I believe. You feel him in the huddle. You feel his experience. I think he did a really good job, as we talked about, of changing his body in the offseason. So he's become a threat both with his legs and with his arm. And the more he understands what he's doing out there, and when he does, he's really executing very well. I think the guys are excited, when he gets in the huddle. Not to say that they're not excited when the other quarterbacks are in there, but they do feel Will. And, I know he's excited about leading the team.
So less of this was a choice we had to make, more of an announcement that we were an affirmation.
Yeah, half of it I buy, half of it it's
a little bit,
speak.
right?
Yeah,
it was good that he caught himself though when he said, that Will has a command when he goes into the huddle. He's like, well, the other guys do too.
Yeah, that's the coach catch there. I was just picturing like Will walks into the huddle and everybody's like, yeah,
yes,
he's like,
yes, he's here.
Like, God,
and Devin, not this guy.
No. Yeah, I don't think that's. I mean, also, he graded out well. I just
the aggregate of all the numbers.
I highly doubt they're just like crunching the data and they like, okay, turns out it's Will. It's we added all
the
this
algorithm told us Will. So sorry, Devin.
He graded out you can't deny this. And although we want Devin to be the starter, the numbers say it's Will. So I guess it's Will. Yeah, there's that. I would very much assume they've known that it's Will, and you don't go by the actual paper grades that you're giving these guys. You're like, who's our guy?
Yeah, who's the
There's
guy?
Far too much money, importance, everything riding on this. Your jobs to leave it up to the algorithm. But yeah, it's an announcement we thought we would get. I think it's smart to do it. I'm happy that it's out now, that we're not going to drag this out, and that they can kind of get functioning on here's our quarterback, here's what our team looks like. Because you can't have an identity of a team without knowing who your quarterback is. You can't form it even if you got all the talent in the world. You need to be able to see yourselves as this is who our offense is. Without the head of the offense, it's a non-starter.
Yeah.
And it's got to be a guy. That's got to be the coach on the field. That's got to be, well, maybe not even the coach on the field, but it has to be your leader. And you don't want any of the other 10 guys on offense at all questioning that. And for that matter, anybody on defense questioning it either.
Yeah, I think that's just as important.
And it sounds like if you're to take the press conference as gospel, well, we have no reason to not believe. It sounds
there's
like
no
the
reason
guys,
for us to not believe.
There's no reason to not believe. Everybody is behind this guy.
And we had also talked last week on the Saturday Spectacular that there is an advantage to doing it when you know. When you know, make the announcement. Get everybody, and I mean everybody, again, casting that wide net behind this guy. And here was Ryan Day kind of echoing what we had said.
I feel like, quite honestly, Will's taken control of the team in the last 4 or 5 days, and I don't think anybody will be surprised in that locker room. I know that when I went through that as a quarterback, it did give me a little bit of boost. When you know you're battling, you got to bring it every day. You don't want someone to feel content. Okay, I got the job. I can take a deep breath. It doesn't work that way, but at the same time, it does give you a little confidence to know that, okay, I am the starter, and I can start focus on continuing to lead this team. So, I think there's pluses and minuses to both, but I think the team would tell you that he has taken control of it.
And especially with this being, I think the last scrimmage they'll do before the Akron game, having the idea that here's our first team offense, and we're walking. Don't walk on the field, but we're going.
I liked that, and I'm sure there was a piece of it too. He mentioned that Will had kind of taken control.
Mm-hmm.
That it does on some level happen naturally. I think anytime, and I wasn't a part of very many quarterback battles. I've mentioned there was a shift to Terrell from Todd Beckman my sophomore year, but it wasn't a battle. It was a mid-season thing that we're switching. Here, moving forward, here's our number one, here's our number two. End of story. Wasn't even discussion, and we had a game that week anyway, so let's move on. But I'd have to imagine in a three-person, for the most part, three-person quarterback battle, that at some point, somebody is naturally you're going to see it.
Yep.
And the coaches are going to see it. And if I was betting, I would say Coach Day, Coach Kelly, we're looking at this, and your eyeball test, you're going to see who's your leader.
Eyeball test, gut. They've seen so many of these.
You're going to be
They've seen so much.
Yeah. Even if you're just thinking, all they do is think Ohio State football
Feels natural
all day.
to them.
Yes. Who is that? Who is in your mind as the starter? Who's your guy? There's going to be an easy answer to it. And it sounds like it was Will.
And I know that we talked about this. It feels like since camp began, since they had said that this was going to be a quote unquote competition. The phrase I keep using, I guess the acronym is PTSD from last season, and I had just wondered, not wondered, that's not the right word, but I knew that you could not, as an Ohio State team, do what you did last season this season. With the quarterback announcement or QB1, it had to be made before you got into actual games, because that would just throw everything off. And that you saw with last year, I think really at different points in the season just create turmoil and tension that I thought was unnecessary. And so having that not be the case this year, I think is better for everybody. Something I learned this week was that it wasn't necessarily messing around with the quarterback situation, as there was a lot of indecision. We'll discuss why that indecision, I think, played a factor into this season's decision next at Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Death, taxes, and beating Michigan every damn year. This is your flagship home for Ohio State football. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
During Toyota's national sales event, you can choose from more hybrid and all-wheel drive vehicles than anyone else, including the family-size Highlander. Now through September 3rd, get any new gas-powered 2024 Highlander and get $1,000 APR cash or $500 on Highlander Hybrid when financed with approved credit through TFS. Plus, every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, 2 years no-cost maintenance. Get details at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Get Eco.
ECO. Hey, Aaron. Hey, Jerry. Pretty hot this summer, huh? This kind of heat makes me want to invent something that cools everything off. Well, they did invent the air conditioner.
Get Eco.
ECO. Get Eco today, and we'll fix your AC today. Your house will be cool like snow. Cool like an ice rink. Fixed in a blink. Faster than you can think. Our plumbers can even fix your sink. Well, plumbing won't help much with the heat. But yeah, we can fix your sink and anything else that has pipes attached to it.
Get Eco.
ECO. When your house is cool, your people are cool. Our HVAC technicians can be at your house today and quickly repair your air conditioner today. Fix the sink and cool off with a drink. Ooh, I need to invent a new drink. I'll bring the ice.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Get Eco.
ECO. Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians. GetEco.com.
Hey, welcome to IKEA's Complete Sleep event. Don't miss dreamy offers on sleep essentials.
I've tried counting sheep, but keep losing track.
We've got you. IKEA family members save 15% off your purchase of $300 or more on select sleep comfort items. Plus, we're throwing a pajama party in-store on August 31st. Wear your favorite PJs for a free breakfast.
Ooh, we have matching PJs.
Don't wait. Go to IKEA-USA.com/bettersleep or visit your local store today. Offer valid August 7th through September 10th. U.S. only. See store and IKEA-USA.com for full details and eligible items. Restrictions apply.
It's time that we face the facts when it comes to organ, eye, and tissue donation. It exists to save and heal lives. It's a way to look out for one another, to continue a legacy and give the gift of a fuller future, the gift of life.
But what about the barriers around organ donation?
Cost, age, religion, race, or health status are not factors that can get in the way. All it really takes is one epic yes. Register today to become an organ, eye, and tissue donor at donatelifeohio.org.
Rothman and Ice.
If they ever do sell the rights to dotting the I for a game, I think I need a little commission on that. Like just a little bit.
Rothman and Ice. Weekdays at noon.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus.
The Fan.
Hi, I'm Joanna Williams, General Manager at Tansky Sawmill Toyota, and this month 0% financing is back by popular demand on the 2024 Toyota Tundra for 48 months. But hurry in before they're gone. Visit TanskySawmillToyota.com for details. And when you think Toyota, think Tansky with approved credit, tax title, and $250 doc fee not included. Offer ends August 30th.
Think Toyota. Think Tansky. Think Tansky.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
This season on Nada Yada Island.
You were charging your phone? I waited hours for you.
That's how long it takes.
Join Metro and get a free Motorola Edge that'll charge for the day in 15 minutes. At Metro, there's no activation fees. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Bring your number ID and sign up for Metro Flex Plus plan. Offer not available if at T-Mobile or have been with Metro in the past 180 days. Requires 68-watt charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary.
Life. It's full of strange twists and unexpected surprises. But at AAA, it's always been our policy to look on the plus side. And our AAA Plus members tend to take the same view. Take Martin, for example. Last Monday, his morning coffee surprised him with an extra 10 degrees of Fahrenheit. Ouch! It was just the jolt of energy he needed to start the day. Later, when his shirt was targeted by the mustard on his burger, he became a proud trendsetter.
Martin, looking good.
And when he walked face first into a sparkling glass door, he was happy to provide some much-needed entertainment for his coworkers.
I'm okay.
And of course, when his car battery took early retirement, Martin felt no resentment. He knew there was a plus side. AAA's expert roadside assistance was only a call away.
Hello, AAA. Are you in a safe location?
While we can't all be like Martin, we can become a AAA Plus member and experience the peace of mind that comes with living on the plus side. Towing is subject to a 7-day waiting period. Terms and conditions apply.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Sports talk, weekend style. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
So when I talk about Ohio State opening the fire hydrant and giving us more info than would be expected of an Ohio State football coaching staff 2 weeks before the season opening game, a lot of things perked my interest. Obviously, quarterback 1 being Will Howard, who's QB 2. You heard Ryan Day, it's Devin Brown. I think it's Devin Brown for now because I do think, Dane, that they see Julian Sayin as the future of this program. But I also think with how the quarterback situation was handled last year, there's a lot of learning that was done for Ryan Day in how now that you've got a portal era where guys can come and go kind of at will, no pun intended there, that you need to make sure that you're not just that you are doing what's best for your program, but also while trying to avoid he's the guy we think, but he's the best option we have in the room. Because he had said, Coach Day did, quote, at this time last year, I thought Devin was going to be the starter, and Kyle McCord kind of just came on and down the stretch really did a great job. And so going into those first couple of games, I couldn't look the team in the eye and say he's the starter because they know what they see, and that's a big part of this locker room. And then Kyle won it in the first couple of weeks, and it kind of went from there. Now, we saw the direction that it went, and it was not great because there was that indecision. And so now I think that he's done a great job. Obviously, having Chip Kelly helps, where you're kind of a hive mind there of offense. You're a hive-minded quarterback play. You've seen so much of it, whereas last year, like, I guess he's the guy because he's the best of what we've got. But now it's like, okay, he is the guy. I know this for a fact.
Do you think it was easier this year because there's two guys that are new guys and Will being a transfer in, that it's easier to make that decision than guys that you have so much history with?
Yeah.
Because Kyle and Devin both had been in the program and had been backups. And we're talking like, then second and third string guys. You know, it feels like it from a fan side, but I almost think, I wonder if on the coaching end too, obviously Devin was very much competing for that job. Mm-hmm. But you brought Will in for a reason. You brought him in to be that next guy, and I would think that decision probably comes a little bit easier. It would for me if I was the head coach.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this guy, even if it's close, there's a lot of upside here. We brought him in for this. You want to talk QB2 versus QB3?
I think that's the logical next step in this, because it feels, and you heard from Ryan Day, that Devin's the starter right now.
Yeah.
Or Devin's QB2 right now. But if they're scrimmaging today and Julian is able to... I had rolled my eyes at this when Coach Day came on. I think it was Morning Juice when the fan was out at Ohio State's fall camp when they had the first 4 practices available. And he talked about building blocks and setting foundations every single day. And I do think Julian's starting to really build a foundation that they want to have him next up.
I think your point was really good in talking about this era too. It's a fatal flaw to bury a guy at QB3 if you think he could be a guy.
Yeah.
And that's nothing against Devin Brown. He might just be in a situation where you're in a tough spot. If you're not the guy at Ohio State either they have 2 guys, right? They have the guy and then the next guy.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not room for a third. So I could definitely, it's going to be an interesting next few weeks, or even that's going to be an interesting part of the season. Because I think you just don't, if you actually have a guy sitting in your locker room that you think is the next guy, you can't afford to not let him at least feel it or have that chance of keeping him.
I'm not sure, Dane, where we are in college football, it'll never not be a very tight rope to walk, or I guess a tough line to kind of walk for Ohio State. Because you talk about, when you're the quarterback at Ohio State, you're the pinnacle of your sport.
Yeah.
There's very few schools that are on this kind of level when you're the quarterback at the institution. Like, this is big boy. This is the biggest boy almost on the playground. And when you've got consistent talent coming up, and you also have to go through the portal because that's just what college football has dictated. Oregon's got a portal back they're going to be using this year. Texas, Quinn... I do think there was a lot that Quinn wanted to go to Texas. The timing didn't really work out for him and what he wanted, but he's still a transfer portal quarterback. Will Howard will be starting similarly at Ohio State. Like Carson Beck feels, of the teams that could actually win a national championship, the guy that came up through his system start to finish. And I think where you've got not just Julian and Devin, but you've got Aaron Noland and Lincoln Keenholz. And then you've got Aaron Noland coming in. Aaron Noland's now in. Tavian St. Clair, I should say, coming in as a 5-star, as one of the premier prospects in the country. What does that do for the other 3 in the room? What does that do for Tavian?
It's such an interesting question. And the tightrope, I don't see it changing so long as the model of college football is recruit instead of draft. Because you don't see a stockpile of talented quarterbacks in the NFL, and there's a reason.
Right.
There's one starter because we can only afford one starter, and there's only so many jobs, so you can see you're really lucky if you have a young guy that you think is in the works and you have the position to be able to hold him and not play him if he's not quite ready. It's a rare thing to see in this level of football. So you won't see it in the NFL. Maybe you see it in Green Bay. They're notorious for drafting a guy and letting him sit and learn.
They feel them. I don't even know if Kansas City is the right to lump into this, but they're outlier. That's an outlier.
That's an outlier.
Yeah.
It's not the norm because it's just not, it doesn't work because if you're vying for the Ohio State job, you ought to be among the top quarterbacks in the nation, right? Yep. If you're vying for it. And then if you don't get it, you ought to be going somewhere else to get it. You know, and I'm not saying that anybody should do that, but that makes
someone is
sense
going to.
Me. That makes sense to me. Because if you're that good, as you should be, if you're competing for this job, that there is a place that you should be a starter elsewhere. It's a funny thing that is a quirk to college football that, you know, the NFL does not deal with.
Well, you talk about, you know, the depth in the room, and Dane, I think there are 2 teams that any quarterback in this Ohio State room wouldn't start at. 2 teams in the Big Ten. I think obviously Dylan Gabriel at Oregon, maybe Alex Orji at Michigan. But everybody else in the Big Ten would take a quarterback in this Ohio State room over the guy that they're going to trot out there in the fall. Maybe Michigan State, because I think Jonathan Smith brought over a quarterback from Oregon State. But off the top of my head, I mean, Cade McNamara, if you're familiar with that name, is going to be starting at Iowa.
Oh, really?
There's a lot of portal quarterbacks like it's Curtis Rourke from Ohio University. He's going to be starting at Indiana.
Yep.
But if you look,
he's one of your Bobcats.
One of my Bobcats, yeah, and I hope the best for the Maple Missile. But are you telling me Indiana right now wouldn't take a Lincoln Kienholz, or, you know, Nebraska's going to start Dylan Raiola, but they wouldn't want Lincoln, or they wouldn't want Air Noland? Probably not. They'd probably take one of the guys in Ohio State's room because they've also had time to work under Ryan Day.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing they don't have is the experience. And anymore, it seems like that holds because I don't know if Will Howard didn't end up at Ohio State the way he did, if he would be an Ohio State quarterback. I don't know.
No, probably not.
Because would we have recruited him? Would he have been from start to finish incoming freshman to starter? I almost think, you know.
Gosh, he was a 3-star, and he got a total of 20 scholarship offers. He got offers from Maryland, Minnesota, Rutgers in the Big Ten.
There you go.
Like those.
So it's like you landed here in this way, and I think at these top programs, that's going to start to be the norm, unless I think you have situations that if a Julian Sayin plays out the way we think he could, you're in a really, really lucky spot, getting a guy young and growing with him. Other than that, I think there's a whole lot of value to be had out in the portal.
Connor Stallions has found himself a new spot. We'll tell you where he's landed next at Sports Saturday on The Fan.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Let's get something straight. I'm not here to convince you to use cannabis or to try cannabis. I'm here to tell you that since medical cannabis is legal in this state, Verihill can help you get your medical cannabis card with no hassle if you qualify. Just go to Veriheal.com, meet with a state-licensed medical doctor online, and, if approved, get your card. There's no fee if you don't qualify, so check it out today. Veriheal. Veriheal.com.
We go to war for you.
Hi, it's Robert Sugar. Uber or Lyft accident? At Sugar Schnarr Trial Attorneys, we know the law and we'll fight for your rights. Call us at 877-WARFORYOU.com or visit warforyou.com for a free consultation. Know your rights and get the results you deserve. That's 877-WAR-FOR-YOU. 877-WAR-FOR-YOU or visit warforyou.com.
War for you, warforyou.com.
Bobby Carpenter here for Germain Toyota. Ready for a new ride? Swing by Germain Toyota, ask for my friend Marcello, and discover unbeatable deals and a wide selection of new and certified pre-owned Toyota vehicles. Visit GermainToyota.net and drive away in style today. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
As a dad, I've got to make ends meet for my family. Right now, that's tougher than ever. That's why I'm grateful we've got Mike Carey in Congress, a leader who cares about families like mine. Mike Carey introduced the Pay Less at the Pump Act, which will save American families billions at gas stations. Mike's work on passing affordable housing and pro-manufacturing legislation will create new jobs, raise wages for working families, and help build thousands of new affordable housing units throughout Central Ohio. Mike Carey was even instrumental in increasing the child tax credit, a measure to help even low-income families thrive. This family man is grateful that Mike Carey's fighting for pro-family policies. To learn how Congressman Mike Carey's helped your family fight inflation, visit carey.house.gov. Paid for with official funds from the Office of Representative Mike Carey.
Billiards Plus has everything for the master griller in your house. Come to their showroom, open the lid, and feel the difference in their grills. Professional top quality equipment at great prices with a huge selection ready to go home with you. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
August may seem like the end of summer. It also means the beginning of a lot of things like back to school, festivals, football. At Buckeye Lake Marina, it means the August savings days are upon us. Get huge discounts on all of the new and used boats that they didn't sell. Every pontoon, tri-toon, sport boats, even fishing boats are ready for you. Save thousands on demo models that have been used all summer to show off amazing features. Some have never even been in the water. Take advantage of the August savings days at Buckeye Lake Marina. Their summer hours continue through the entire month of August. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com for details.
Ah, the sounds of summer. The crack of a bat, the splash of a pool, and the dreaded silence of a broken AC. No, don't sweat it. Call the Waterworks Heating and Cooling Team for an AC tune-up. Schedule a visit today and stay cool all summer long. Call the Waterworks Heating and Cooling Team, 614-333-9720, or schedule service on our website. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better AC.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
And I'm Jacob Reimer. We have some preseason football for you on this Saturday. A total of 13 games on the slate for today, 2 of which feature the Browns and the Bengals. The Cleveland Browns are at home against the Minnesota Vikings. You can find coverage here on The Fan starting at 4 and kickoff at 4:25. The Bengals are in Chicago taking on the Bears here at 1 o'clock. Caleb Williams is expected to play a quarter for the Bears. The Bengals also extended kicker Evan McPherson a 3-year deal worth $16.5 million. In baseball, the Guardians and Reds both saw their win streaks come to an end last night. Cleveland fell to the Brewers 5-3 in their series opener in Milwaukee. Jose Ramirez hit a 2-run homer, making him the second player in MLB to reach 100 RBIs this season. As for Cincinnati, they lost to the Royals 7-1, snapping their 4-game win streak. Both teams are back in action again later tonight. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
During weekend programming, pants are optional.
Look at my butt!
However, leather chairs may have been a bad choice. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
Yes, you are. Eric Reeser, Dane Sanzenbacher, Jacob Reimer, as you heard in the update. Browns preseason game number 2. They're going to be in Cleveland hosting the Minnesota Vikings. You never hope for someone to get injured, so brutal news about J.J. McCarthy this week, especially if you are, like Anthony Rothman, a Minnesota Vikings fan. How does Sam Darnold strike you as a quarterback going into 2024?
It doesn't excite you.
No.
I don't think it does. I mean, he's almost getting to a point where it's synonymous with we got quarterback problems.
Boy. And, Justin Jefferson just signed that $140 million deal, and I imagine he's happy because he got paid. But if this season for them feels like just get us to, let's get us a decent, I don't know. They're a team, I would say, they could use a good tank.
Yeah.
They just, what are you, right? But you'll have Browns, Vikings again. That'll be at 4:25 on this station. And then next week, the Browns will end the preseason in Seattle. It'll be a 10 o'clock Eastern kick.
Wow.
For preseason game number 3, Dane Sanzenbacher. Who messed up there? Because normally you wouldn't ever do anything like that for the finale of your NFL preseason.
Why is it a 10 p.m. kick?
Nobody knows.
What station?
Oh, you
What
listen to it
network?
right here on The Fan. But the Browns are going out to Seattle to play that thing.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it boggles the mind.
Well.
Don't do that. Don't go where I think you're going to go, okay? Look.
Who are we talking about?
Do you have kids?
Yeah, I have one.
Are they going to choose their NFL team, or are you going to say, here's an 11, Sanzenbacher from the Bengals? There you go.
No, he'll probably end up a little Colts fan, honestly, because mom is from Indiana.
Okay.
And their whole family is huge.
Diehards?
Not diehards, but everything Indiana sports. So I probably, when NFL season rolls around, I'll probably not be able to add much to the conversation other than Colts.
Okay. That's not bad.
I don't push on. I mean, Bengals, yes, played there. Chicago, yes, played there, but I don't have a dog in the fight there.
Who do you have more affinity for?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because growing up, were you a fan of either Ohio team, or where was your rooting as a kid in Toledo?
I didn't have a team.
Okay.
Toledo's kind of split. It's all over the place.
Yeah, you
I was
Detroit
randomly,
there.
believe it or not, when I was really young, I was a 49ers fan.
Okay.
Because that was like the Steve Young
You didn't
era.
have the Browns. I remember, because we're the same age, I think, because we were in college at the same time, different universities, obviously. But I had friends that were Cowboys fans and Packers fans, because in the 90s, those are the teams.
Yep.
And the Bengals were laughing stocks. You had some Steelers fans, but for the most part, it was, a mix.
Yeah, so I don't have now. If I was a kid now, I probably would. It's funny that kids growing up now get the Browns and Bengals as being
You get a
solid,
Joe Burrow to look up to.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Right down the road. Lucky. But no, I didn't have a rooting preference, so I probably won't push one way or the other. I mean, it doesn't.
Which is, I think, healthy.
Yeah, I have an affinity for both the teams I played for. They were just different times in my life and career, but no, he's probably going to end up with a horseshoe on his shirt.
Which is fine. There's success there. You'll never not have an interesting owner. I don't know if interesting is the right word there, but Jim Irsay definitely makes things interesting.
Sure does.
And if they can land this Anthony Richardson plane, I think you get a healthy Richardson, a healthy Jonathan Taylor. That's a team that could be fun in an AFC South that should be getting a lot better this season.
Yeah.
But I would just say this out there, anybody watching on YouTube, if you're going to do the healthy dad thing or the healthy mom thing and let your kid pick a team, let them, as long as it's not the Cleveland Browns.
Mm-hmm.
If they at any point come to you and say, Mom, Dad, I want to be a Browns fan, you put your foot down. I am telling you this as a Browns fan. It's not healthy.
Yeah. And Eric, we want the best for the mental health of your children.
Yes.
Listeners of our show. And
that ain't it.
That's not it.
Because, again, you'll have Browns Vikings on this station at 425. The Fan is your home for the Cleveland Browns. I know there are a lot of people out there listening that say that's malarkey, Eric. I love my Cleveland Browns. My kids are Cleveland Browns fans. My father was a Cleveland Browns fan. My grandfather was a Cleveland Browns fan. How are things going? I can tell you wearing a undefeated preseason champs t-shirt that I got in 2016. Remember how that season went?
No.
They lost all 16.
Oh.
So whoops. This is where it's at.
But he'll have a lot of friends, though, I will say, because there are a lot of Browns fans that their favorite thing, and you may be one of them, is to commiserate about the Browns.
We do
it's
love
almost
that.
like we wouldn't know what to do. It's like the dog chasing the car.
It's a grumpy men meeting. Yeah.
What would you do? We wouldn't know what to do if we caught it.
So people ask me all the time,
What
would you do if the Browns won the Super Bowl? I'm like, whoa, we got to get to an AFC championship game first. But likely a lot of beer is going to be consumed. So I don't know what I would do.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably...
I have no idea.
You a Cavs fan as well?
I am.
So it's probably similar to when you guys finally won a championship there.
It's right? I got to tell you this, Dane, working in Cleveland at the time I did, because I was in the summer of 16, and the Guardians were also in the World Series, and the Cavaliers, they won the World Championship. None of those were even close to what I think it would be if the Browns won a Super Bowl. I don't think it would be...
yeah, you're right.
It wouldn't even come close to what would happen to Northeast Ohio if the Cleveland Browns won a Super Bowl. There's no way to measure it because it never happened. They're still holding on to championships won in the 60s. Just great for you guys. But yeah, just for a public service announcement from your friend Eric. August 27th, I think we're going to be somewhat in our feelings. As I know, I'm going to be watching Netflix's Untold Sign Stealer. I'm going to watch it. It's this whole thing has been so compelling for me that I want to see what Connor Stallions has to say about his role in this. I want to see how far Connor Stallions has dug into that foxhole to where this was all on me, but everybody else in college football was doing it. So everybody else is the bad guy. I don't know why I'm being the scapegoat here for all of this. Because I think he's going to put on as straight as a face as he can, and he's going to sing that exact song.
Have you seen any of the release clips from
Yes.
it? What were your thoughts?
How could they not get anybody better than Dave Portnoy to talk about Michigan football?
Oh, was that? I didn't even see that part.
So he's going to be part of this documentary. I don't know how much, but the idea is in the trailer, they're talking to the Barstool Sports guy, who's just a Michigan homer. Takes away any credibility, I think, any semblance of credibility that was left from this. Because when you're going to interview Connor Stallions, you're not going to get the truth. You might get his truth, but as we talked last week about Jim Harbaugh's truth, who knows where in reality that is?
To me, what I've seen is it might just be, yes, it's obviously going to be an apologetic version, maybe.
Yes.
Or one that's going to very much paint, if he's involved with it, Michigan as not the bad guy here.
Right.
And it may do a good job of that. But I think it also just might expose Connor Stallions as just a very strange dude.
Yeah. Oh, I think it definitely will.
And it probably not be that great of look overall. From what I've seen, the lengths at which he personally was willing to go makes me feel like I've never seen somebody like that.
It's dangerously obsessive.
Yes, it's dangerous. It makes me more question, not from the cheating part, but the who's watching the hangers on this program.
Yeah.
Who's watching the people? Like, if that's somebody you're investing a lot in. Now, I haven't seen it yet, and I obviously don't know.
But you saw the clip where he was talking about going and filming himself.
Yeah, that's odd.
Doing every single hand motion gesture that he had ever seen.
On any level, that's an obsessive. That's like a...
Yeah. You're up at 2 a.m. filming yourself doing like the heart emoji thing or doing like the wacky, inflatable tube man thing.
Right. So my questions are more on the rest of the staff there that you were like, this is
fine.
This is fine. This is totally normal. It's
but
cool.
if it helps you win, anything's on the table.
Again, speaks
if you're
to the
that desperate, right?
Again, speaks to it. Yeah.
Would you, when your kid is old enough, trust him with Connor Stallions as a high school football coach? Because that's what parents at Mumford High School in Michigan are going to be asking themselves this fall as Connor Stallions is their new defensive coordinator. This was confirmed. This was a report by the Detroit News. Tony Paul had it on Thursday. And then Mumford High School's William McMichael, who's the head coach, confirmed it, saying, quote, he might be the most hated man in college football, but the coaches and kids at Mumford High School love him. They call him 5-star Stallions.
And they are the Mustangs, right?
They are the Mumford Mustangs, and they've won 1 game in 2 years. 2 games in 2 years, I should say. Sorry, Mumford.
I'm okay with if this is the end of the saga. If what all this came to was Connor Stallion lands a volunteer.
He's a volunteer defensive coordinator
role. Because what I was really hoping was that the polarization of him didn't catapult him into some real role.
An actual
responsibilities role at the college level. So, yeah, I mean, I think in my years, yes, there's always going to be questionable high school football coaches.
Oh, yeah.
You ought to. There's some great ones. There are some great ones, but there are also the barrier to get in. There's not always the most scrupulous.
Who's screening
vetting.
those?
Yeah, screening. So you always ought to be careful. I don't know. I guess I wish the Mustangs the best, but I do take a little bit of comfort in knowing that, okay, this is where we landed. That's okay.
As high as it's going to get for him fine. For here on out. McMichael telling ESPN, quote, the kids love him. He seemed like the perfect fit for us and what we wanted to do. The defense we've been running for a while mirrors Michigan's. It gives an edge to the guys who are looking to go to the next level because they're learning college lingo and how you go about being professional.
Ooh, that's a hot take. I could understand the college lingo, but if you were going in, we're gonna learn from him on being professional.
It's a bold strategy.
It's a bold move.
Let's see if it pays off. The University of Michigan, their athletic department backtracked. And Deshaun Watson, check your emails. That's next. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Whatever you're doing right now, just know that Bo Bishop is enjoying a sip of bourbon. Even if this promo is playing in the morning, no judgment.
Sweet morning drinking.
The Fan.
This is the White Castle Call of the Crave, and it's telling you to come in now for 10 cheese sliders for just $7.99. 10 cheese sliders for just $7.99. Boom! White Castle. Follow your crave. Limited time only, tax not included.
Ah, the sounds of back to school time. There's plenty to about this time of year, so let Cane's take something off your plate by putting something on it, like hand-battered chicken fingers and cane sauce.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
This
This week, find hot summer deals in one stop at Meijer. Shop locally grown sweet corn, 5 for $2, pork butt for $1.69 per pound, and hamburger helper for just $1. Plus, earn M-Perks points every time you shop for groceries, apparel, and at the pump. You even earn points at the Meijer Pharmacy, so schedule your flu shot today. Available now. Meijer has all you need in just one stop, and the same low Meijer prices in-store and online. Exclusions apply. See all deals in-store or in the Meijer app.
Hey, welcome to IKEA's complete sleep event. Don't miss dreamy offers on sleep essentials.
I've tried carrying sheep, but keep losing track.
We've got you. IKEA family members save 15% off your purchase of $300 or more on select sleep comfort items. Plus, we're throwing a pajama party in-store on August 31st. Wear your favorite PJs for a free breakfast.
Ooh, we have matching PJs.
Don't wait. Go to IKEA-USA.com/bettersleep or visit your local store today. Offer valid August 7th through September 10th, U.S. only. See store and IKEA-USA.com for full details and eligible items. Restrictions apply.
Have you lost Ohio Medicaid? At healthcare.gov, you can find a low-cost, quality health plan.
Do plans cover doctor visits?
What about emergency care?
And prescriptions?
All covered and more. Plus, with the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
At AAA, it's our policy to look on the plus side, and AAA Plus members tend to take the same view. Take Martin. Last Monday, his coffee surprised him with an extra 10 degrees of Fahrenheit. It was just the jolt of energy he needed. Later, when he walked into a door, he was happy to provide entertainment for his coworkers.
I'm okay.
And when his car battery took early retirement, he knew expert roadside assistance was only a call away.
Hello, AAA.
Become a AAA Plus member and experience peace of mind on the plus side. Towing is subject to a 7-day waiting period. Terms and conditions apply.
We don't talk politics on the Fan. It's divisive, fear-stoking, and negative. That's what our social media is for, or your crazy uncle's house, or the grocery store, or you get my point. The Fan, Ohio's politics-free destination.
Score a goal with the Love My Crew checking account from Pathways, the checking account that rewards you for supporting the crew. Learn more at pathwayscu.com. Pathways Financial Credit Union, official credit union of the Columbus Crew. Federally insured by NCUA.
Get Eco.
ECO. Hey, Aaron. Hey, Jerry. Pretty hot this summer, huh? This kind of heat makes me want to invent something that cools everything off. Well, they did invent the air conditioner.
Get Eco.
ECO. Get Eco today, and we'll fix your AC today. Your house will be cool like snow. Cool like an ice rink. Fixed in a blink. Faster than you can think. Our plumbers can even fix your sink. Well, plumbing won't help much with the heat. But yeah, we can fix your sink and anything else that has pipes attached to it.
Get Eco.
ECO. When your house is cool, your people are cool. Our HVAC technicians can be at your house today and quickly repair your air conditioner today. Fix the sink and cool off with a drink. Ooh, I need to invent a new drink. I'll bring the ice.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Get Eco.
ECO. Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians. GetEco.com.
Hi, Bob and Teresa Capace here. Anniversaries are a big deal and meant to be celebrated.
Join us for our 24th anniversary at Worthington Jewelers. Enjoy 10 to 60% off to celebrate this event, August 15th through the 17th.
Worthington Jewelers, your local hometown jeweler.
Next.
The last thing you want to do is take another trip to the doctor's office.
And sign here and here and here.
Save yourself the hassle by visiting VeriHeal.com to talk to a state-licensed medical provider about medical cannabis. You'll see if you pre-qualify in just a few minutes. Simple as that. That'll make your day go from this to this. Visit VeriHeal.com. VERIHEAL. VeriHeal.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Skies are quiet for now, but this afternoon we are tracking chances for showers and thunderstorms. Between now and lunchtime, temperatures climb under mostly sunny skies. We will hit 89 for your high later today. It's going to be hot, it's going to be humid, and that's going to be fuel for our storms. Those pop after 2 p.m., and then they're going to be spotty through the afternoon and into the evening hours. There's a chance we see these come together in a stronger line. We're talking about potential for strong winds, large hail, and quick downpours the second half of the day. I'm meteorologist Madison Reich with your weather impact forecast on The Fan.
Live, local, and still slightly drunk.
I'm not drunk, all right? I just have a speech impediment.
This is Fan Sports Saturday.
We had talked about the arrogance of the Michigan man, the delusional distancing that had been done, that has been done, that will continue to be done post Connor Stallion sign stealing scandal. And you'll see a lot of that in the Netflix documentary Untold Sign Stealer that'll come out August 27th. You're going to see it week 1, August 31st against Fresno State. I think the Wolverines and Bulldogs are playing at 7:30. They're going to honor a 2023 national championship that will, if not officially, always have an asterisk because they cheated. Now, did they have the sign stealing scandal in place against Ohio State, against Alabama, against Washington? They'll say no, but of course they will. We don't know for sure, but it'll always have that hanging over it. And maybe not in an official capacity, but then I think you talked to it and you spoke very eloquently about if I'm a player on that team, or if I'm in any way, shape, or form proud of my alma mater in which I played, this isn't going to sit well with me because every single day I'm going to have to answer for it.
Yeah, and it's even unique in the sense that it's actual and on-field advantage.
Yep.
It's one that we haven't seen. That's why the punishment, when we get to that, is going to be interesting regardless, because we haven't seen it. It's actually kind of hard to cheat in this sport.
Yeah.
It actually is.
To get an advantage like that.
To get an on-field advantage, I mean, you're talking like...
It does take a person with an incredible obsession for football.
It does. But I think you're right. It would... I'm sure those players are going to be very proud that they won the national championship. I think they kind of alienated themselves from the rest of the college football universe, though, and how they handled it.
Oh, yeah.
If they wanted it to be us against the world, it was. I don't think, their approach in that everybody was off base for having these feelings and we just wanted to come at Michigan, I just don't think that's the case. I think they were kind of off base in that assumption there. So, they won it. They had a great team. They made the plays they needed to make, but there will certainly always be that. Mm-hmm. And I think part of it is you're seeing, we talked about it when they first announced that there would be this, obviously you've got to celebrate it, I guess, but Michigan has shown to be a little tone deaf.
Yeah.
At the university level of what this looks like.
They're really bad at reading the room.
Right.
For people that consider themselves leaders and best, they're very bad at just understanding the situation around you at almost any juncture. And with the news that came out on a podcast, I think this would have been 2 weeks ago now, that Jim Harbaugh was going to be honored with that national championship team on August 31st as an honorary captain, it hit about as well as you would have expected it to. But I think in this instance, Michigan read the room.
Yep.
And so reportedly, Sharon Moore called Jim Harbaugh, or Sharon Moore told reporters earlier this week that Jim Harbaugh had called him, saying that he, while honored, was not going to be a part of those festivities on August 31st. He would not be the honorary captain for that game against Fresno State. His explanation was that he wanted to be so focused on the Los Angeles Chargers that it would take away from that. And that's plausible, but I don't know. That's not probably the truth.
Given his record, I'm going to say no, but I will, if to take it at face value, credit where credit is due.
You have to
say,
I think, yeah.
I'm not, because he did say in the statement too, I didn't want to take away from the 2024 Michigan
also
team as well, which is like, wow, that's a, okay. That's
sensible.
That's actually,
oh my gosh.
That's actually exactly what you should say and do. This is right how you should handle it. So I was impressed that this is where it landed.
So we're not going to get any of that circus. It's going to be a game. I got to check because I don't know. Is Michigan? Well, I think they'll be very good defensively, and I think for a while they'll be a hanger-oner in we can still be an at-large in the 12-team playoff. I think they were 8th and 9th in the coaches and AP preseason polls, respectively.
Oh, really?
So there's a lot of people out there still, I think, they've got talent, and maybe because I think one of the coaches gave them a first-place vote. But I think that comes from to be the man, you got to beat the man. So whatever.
That's fair. Hey, what do you know about their quarterback?
Alex Orji.
Yeah.
I know he's super flexible. He's a great athlete. They had a video a couple weeks ago.
Physically flexible?
He's a freak of nature.
Oh, okay.
Athletically.
One of those guys.
I don't know how he's going to be against a Jim Knowles defense. I'm gonna say it's probably not gonna go very well. But he had a video a couple weeks ago of him doing pistol squats on like a little wiggly board. It was like a stability ball, but in block shape.
Yeah.
And he's doing pistol squats on that and picking up popcorn kernels. And that went viral. And so a freak athlete.
Okay.
They'll, I think, lean on him a lot more than they leaned on J.J. McCarthy's athletic ability. I think Sharon Moore's a decent play caller. I think he acquitted himself nicely this season. Again, it might help when you know what the defense is doing before they even do it.
I could be really good if I knew that.
If I had that into my headset. But I think this team will be okay. They are right now, Michigan, 9th in the AP preseason, 21-point favorites over Fresno State. That's the first Peacock game. Or no, that's NBC. It's Big Boy NBC 2 weeks from tonight.
Okay. Well, I mean, at least that good of Jim Harbaugh to say, hey, there is something with this 2024 Michigan team. And I hope they, like the rest of us, are just ready to be done with it.
I think so.
It's okay. Have your celebration, wash it, and then let's actually get to who this next team is, who this Michigan team is.
Yeah.
And have that be
sensible.
the story.
Yeah.
Let's get back to sensible college football, if that's even a thing anymore, actually.
When you talk about being sensible, you can't bring up the Cleveland Browns. This week, it was reported, this was Sunday, that Deshaun Watson was clear for full contact, but he would not be playing in today's game against the Minnesota Vikings. That game's at 4:25. We'll have pregame coverage on the Fan at 4 o'clock. He would, however, suit up and play in the Browns' preseason finale next Saturday in Seattle against the Seahawks, a 10 o'clock Eastern time kick. That was apparently news to Deshaun Watson, who told reporters on Thursday that, no, this was the first time I heard that, so I don't know. But if I am, I'm playing. That's fine with me. Yeah. Boy, my eyes got wide when I heard those comments from him. And I will tell you why I think that's a really bad omen going into this season. Next, it's Sports Saturday on The Fan.
If you don't like listening to Morning Juice, Bobby Carpenter's man nipples will punch you in the face. For real.
You want to fight, do you? Weekdays from 6 to 9.
The Fan.
It's Toyota's national sales event with more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else, including Toyota's lineup of go-anywhere, do-anything trucks, like the powerful new Tundra. Now through September 3rd, you can get a new Tundra with low-rate financing, special leases, or customer cash up to $2,000, depending on model. And the 2024 Tacoma is now arriving at your Toyota dealer with dominating power, legendary capability, and captivating style. Get details at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Rosati Windows, the best buying experience in the business.
I realize that people have options when choosing replacement windows, so I appreciate each and every customer. Before you make a decision, you owe it to yourself to see what makes us different. Our prices are competitive, we react quickly to service issues, and we control every decision that goes into building and installing our top quality products. We're just able to take better care of our customers.
Call Rosati Windows today, 777-4806.
Bobcat Enterprises is your family-owned partner for landscaping and construction projects since 1975. Find great deals on our full line of Bobcat equipment, including a 36-month, 2,000-hour full warranty on Bobcat compact track loaders and skid steers. And right now, get financing as low as 0% for 48 months on select equipment. Build local. Stop by Bobcat Enterprises in Hilliard, Reynoldsburg, or Zanesville to find current specials, or see our full line of products at bobcatent.com today.
We're dealing at Reichert Nissan. Hundreds of Nissans in stock, on the ground, and priced to sell fast. Low lease payments on brand new Reichert Nissan Sentras, only $219 a month. Now we're really dealing. With our lowest prices and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Visit the Reichert Mega Mall off 270 and 33, or shop thousands of new and certified used at ReichertNissan.com. We're dealing.
With approved credit. 2024 Sentra SV FWD 36-month lease with $3,000 due at signing. Offer ends 9/3/24.
Common Man and T-Bone.
So right now, as we sit here, I love all of this. I love it all. You hired the right guys. Onward and upward. Yeah. I'm on board.
Common Man and T-Bone.
Sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company.
Weekdays 3 to 6 on The Fan.
The delicious ice-cold taste of Dr. Pepper has a lasting effect on people. Lindsay from Sacramento said,
Pro tip, 40 degrees is the perfect temperature for an ice-cold Dr. Pepper.
Why is 40 degrees the perfect temperature for Dr. Pepper? We brought in Sue from Duluth, Minnesota to tell us.
Oh, yeah, I know a thing or two about cold. Oh, that right there is the perfect kind of ice cold for Dr. Pepper. I'd share that with my friend Nancy. She likes Dr. Pepper too, you know. My cold
All
is...
right, that'll be all, Sue. Having a perfect temperature for your Dr. Pepper? It's a Pepper thing. Inspired by real fan posts.
Did you and your family lose Ohio Medicaid and need health coverage? Check this out. You may be eligible to enroll in a low-cost health plan at healthcare.gov. With the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov offers quality plans that cover doctor visits, prescriptions, emergency care, and more. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hi, I'm Joanna Williams, General Manager at Tansky Sawmill Toyota, and this month 0% financing is back by popular demand on the 2024 Toyota Tundra for 48 months. But hurry in before they're gone. Visit TanskySawmillToyota.com for details. And when you think Toyota, think Tansky with approved credit, tax title, and $250 doc fee not included. Offer ends August 30th.
Think Toyota. Think Tansky. Think Tansky.
Billiards Plus has everything for the master griller in your house. Come to their showroom, open the lid, and feel the difference in their grills. Professional top quality equipment at great prices with a huge selection ready to go home with you. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
End the summer with Zumbizi Bay. Soak up the sunshine and dive into an unforgettable experience for the whole family. Get your tickets now and make your final splash at ZumbiziBay.com.
Score a goal with the Love My Crew checking account from Pathways, the checking account that rewards you for supporting the crew. Learn more at pathwayscu.com. Pathways Financial Credit Union, official credit union of the Columbus Crew, federally insured by NCUA.
This is the White Castle Call of the Crave, and it's telling you to come in now for 10 cheese sliders for just $7.99. 10 cheese sliders for just $7.99. Boom! White Castle. Follow your crave. Limited time only, tax not included.
Garnish your Bloody Mary with sports talk. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
So it's all about how you present yourself, right? In any profession. If you're doing big boy business, a shirt and tie. If you're doing radio, sometimes you can get away with wearing sandals, right? Because they're just hearing your voice. So, no? I mean, you do look great. I'll say that.
I actually don't know why I dressed like this today. Eric, I don't have anything else going on today. So this is how I came to work.
just about to ask. Dane Sensenbacher in a nice shirt, nice slacks, looking like you're very business casual today.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm wearing a t-shirt and shorts.
Just going to try to dress like I'm on TV. The
you
YouTube
kind
people,
of are. YouTube people appreciate
this is for the YouTube.
You getting ready and looking dapper, and me just kind of getting my hair together in the morning.
But yes, back to your point, presentation matters.
So I think when you're a starting quarterback in the NFL, you're always watched. Everything you say, everything you do, every appearance you have, and that's for all 32 of them. But when you're a quarterback like Deshaun Watson, you take that magnifier and you times it by 5. And you have, and again, I say this as a rational person. I don't necessarily know if Deshaun Watson is that. But as a rational thinking person, you would have to understand that everything you say and do is not only already scrutinized, but intensely scrutinized because of the history that you have. So when this week, Deshaun Watson comes out and says Thursday that it was the first time he'd heard that he was going to be playing in a preseason game. He'll be playing next week against the Seattle Seahawks. He was just cleared for contact this past Saturday as he recovers from off-season shoulder surgery. It tells me that there's a disconnect between him and the head coach. Dane, 3 weeks before the regular season, as a Browns fan, I go, well, great, because it's not like the entire season rests on your surgically repaired shoulder, right?
So it's one, either he wasn't paying attention and didn't realize.
I think that's the most logical one, is when they told him he's a space cadet.
Okay, so that's not what you want to hear. You don't want to hear that, I wasn't, if I'm playing, I'm playing. If I'm not, I'm not. I didn't really know if I was. I think the worst version of it is that he literally doesn't talk to his head coach and there's no communication there. I don't know if that's the case, but that would be worst case scenario, because in a healthy NFL locker room, those two are the head coach quarterback are connected at the hip.
You want them to have a nice relationship at the very least.
They're talking every day. And you're going to very much know if you're playing or not. That communication is going to be made.
Even if you just found out Thursday, or even if it was the media that told you, boy, can you just not say that? Can you just say, "Oh, I'll be ready"? The last part when he says, "I am playing," that's fine with me. I'm ready to go. Can you just say that?
Yeah, even if
every time he's given an opportunity to not show his ass, he shows it. Mm-hmm. Love this as a Browns fan. Love this for us, Cleveland.
Back to parenting tips. Just don't do it.
Just don't do it. Don't
want to be a Browns
do
fan.
it. Because the week had already started off bad for the Browns with the Michael Hall news and the domestic violence charge and the idea that they were going to put him out there for joint practices with the Vikings and let Kevin Stefanski answer for that. That's a decision made by your front office and your general manager. I do think it needed to be Andrew Barry that was taking questions about why your second-round pick, who had just gotten charged with domestic violence, was out there practicing. It feels like, to me, even if they feel confident enough to put him out there, tells me they feel confident enough that he'll be cleared or ready or he'll be on the field for them week one, you put him on the shelf until this gets cleared up, is how I would have liked them to handle that.
I don't know that that's, if it ever has been, or is just not now, a real consideration.
Yeah.
Which I could understand. It's a delicate, if you're just looking at just its standard workplace practice, sure, it's a tough one to essentially fire or suspend somebody when you don't know what the story is yet. But it happens all the time. Like you're not a normal workplace, that there is public scrutiny here.
Right.
You would like to see there be more accountability, or at least a veil of that, like, a lot of our players are okay guys, which a lot of them are, but there's
I would hope so, but I know I'm cynical, so hope is all I've got. Dang.
You've seen the sport, man. It's a tough one. It doesn't usually lend itself to very well adjusted. Well, I guess that's not fair. That's not fair. I mean, on some level, there's always wild cards out there, and you would like to see the accountability from the leadership to be able to do exactly what you said. Okay, why don't we just sit you over here just until we figure it out? That's fair. And actually, if you do that, Browns, there's not a lot of scrutiny to it.
There's nothing.
There's nothing.
The thing that makes me that I hate is the domestic incidents in the NFL. They happen frequently. I don't know if very frequently is the right way to phrase it, but they happen enough to where you would think, much like a drug test, or much like any time they run afoul of something, a player, that there are procedures that can be done to at least put that player out of practice, out of work, until that gets resolved.
Yeah, I wonder if there is any actual written plan for this, or it's just we'll take them. Because it seems like organizations all handle them differently.
Right.
Just however you think makes sense.
And I do think it's the NFL that goes, well, we don't really want to have to deal with that. We'll let the teams choose how to deal with that.
I bet they can put a little pressure if they needed.
If they wanted. The NFL can do what it wants.
That's true.
So I was disappointed with that. Now, again, it's nothing to Michael Hall, because there's a charge out there, but that needs to play itself out.
Right.
I would have approved, as a Browns fan, of them putting him on the shelf. And I think he was dealing with an injury, so he didn't practice. It would have been the Thursday joint practice with the Vikings. So there was that. But I would have just appreciated it. Football should not be your focus right now. And the allegations are out there. You can read them. They're horrible. That should be your focus. But it isn't. I still also think that Kevin Stefanski, Jim Schwartz, they have jobs to do, where if these are the players available, our job is to get them ready. So it is Jim Schwartz's job to get Michael Hall ready, if he is your asset, to get him ready to play in the National Football League. Jim Schwartz, Kevin Stefanski cannot be worried about other things that aren't on the football field. That's where I would have liked the front office to step in. Because if you tell them, hey, he's not available, then they have to go to plan B or C, or the next guy's on that depth chart.
And I would think that's how they're thinking. They're going to compartmentalize it, but they are programmed to be system and very focused in the box guys. So yeah, here's my available guys. I don't have time to worry about that. So I
understand.
You give them what you give them, and they're going to put them on the field. It's just there's not a long history of front office really like being like, what are our fans going to think of this?
Well,
unfortunately, Eric, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They should, because they have great fans. That's what I'm saying. Like, the fans are the only reason the franchise is still surviving, that they could change their tune to be like the lovable losers. And now you have a great team field and you still have this strong fan base, but they still don't seem like they take time to consider, what do our consumers think of this?
Such a passionate fan base in Cleveland too. But on the field for the Browns.
We always go here. You'll get 2 weeks in a row.
You'll get Dorian Thompson-Robinson quarterbacking this Cleveland club against the Minnesota Vikings. Likely no Jameis Winston. Definitely no Deshaun Watson. Those will be for next week. It is weird, Dane, that they're going to, right now, 90-plus players on the roster, because you get the final roster cuts after the final preseason game. You've got to take them all to Seattle with you next week.
Yeah.
So this more than just your normal NFL traveling party. This is a gaggle of people that won't even be on the roster days after.
Makes for a cramped flight.
It's large humans.
Yeah. No, it is. It's a weird time of year for rosters too, because most things in whether it's your facilities, your travel, the plane you usually take, not built for 90. It's a 53-man roster. You end up with maybe 60. There's some practice squad guys. Yeah, that middle seat, and it's depending on who the franchise is, but if you have a notoriously cheap franchise, that middle seat that used to be the empty one, might be a rookie in there.
I wonder if that pilot flying J hookup can provide them enough travel for Jimmy Haslam's team. Real quick, just with the Browns. Jedrick Wills suffered a back injury last year in Week 5. He's been inactive at training camp. Jack Conklin, he had a knee injury, I think Week 1 of last season. He went down with a torn ACL and an MCL. Wills has been with the team, so has Conklin. Conklin posted on Instagram Tuesday that he's back. Quote, I talked to Nick Chubb, and there may be one dark night, but the first person to rise from the pit was Bane. Hashtag I'm back.
I have issue with that because Bane actually never did rise from the pit. It wasn't. It was Miranda Tate.
Yep.
It was Ra's al Ghul's
Talia al
daughter.
Ghul.
That's the biggest twist in the movie.
Come on, Conklin!
Bane was stuck in the pit and never got out.
Bane only got out when the League of Shadows got him out.
Got him out. They were done with him.
Come on.
That's my biggest hang up with that comment.
But I think that means he's ready to play.
I actually didn't understand when I read that.
I don't know.
I didn't understand what it was saying.
Nick Chubb fancies himself Batman.
Oh, okay.
So Conklin fancies himself Bane in this. But again, to your point, Bane did not get out on his own.
No, he did not.
It was Miranda Tate.
Yep.
So come on. Please know your comic books. Which, are you a comic book guy?
No, but I love those movies.
I love those movies. Yeah, I haven't been able to follow any of like the recent Marvel stuff.
I'm not as much of a Marvel. Well, Batman's DC, right?
Batman's DC, right.
Okay, I'm more like the Batman trilogy I really liked. That like brought me
the Christopher Nolan Batman, yeah.
Even the Batman with Robert Pattinson.
You like that?
I actually really did like it. It's dark.
I tried it. It was one of those that it was on HBO Max, or I guess now it's just Max, and I turned it on and I fell asleep. But I haven't gone back to it.
It's dark, it's slow, but it's more of like a noir type vibe than it is an action movie. There's action, but it's I don't know, it's different. I liked it.
In action about an hour plus from now, 1 o'clock, Soldier Field, Bengals, Bears preseason game. Number 2 for Cincinnati, number 3 for Chicago. But earlier this week, the Bengals finally got a deal done. What could it be? We'll tell you next. It's Sports Saturday on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Football, it's approaching. It's almost here, and it's time to get in on the action early this season. Don't wait too long. There are going to be a ton of NFL futures bets out there. Who's going to win the most competitive division, the AFC North? Do you like the Browns? Do you like the Bengals, the Ravens, the Steelers? You can have the parlays with the player props, the TDs, the rushing yards. It's all there for you, Beam. So get in on the action.
Even if you want to go to Sharky's level on FanDuel, you can parlay 8 teams to to win the divisions to have your payday be that much bigger. Right now, new customers, you're going to get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. There's no better place to get ready for the football season than on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL.
That's right, Beamsy. Unless you have forgotten, just visit FanDuel.com/juice to sign up today. Must be 21 and older and present in Ohio. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Get Eco.
ECO. Hey, Aaron.
Hey, Jerry. Pretty hot this summer, huh?
This kind of heat makes me want to invent something that cools everything off.
Well, they did invent the air conditioner.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Get Eco today, and we'll fix your AC today.
Your house will be cool like snow.
Cool like an ice rink.
Fixed in a blink.
Faster than you can think.
Our plumbers can even fix your sink.
Well, plumbing won't help much with the heat. But yeah, we can fix your sink and anything else that has pipes attached to it.
Get Eco.
ECO. When your house is cool, your people are cool.
Our HVAC technicians can be at your house today and quickly repair your air conditioner today.
Fix the sink and cool off with a drink. Ooh, I need to invent a new drink.
I'll bring the ice.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Get Eco.
ECO. Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
Bobcat Enterprises is your family-owned partner for landscaping and construction projects. Bobcat Enterprises sells and services a full line of Bobcat equipment, including compact track loaders, excavators, tractors, and more. Plus, Bobcat rents compact equipment and attachments. With Bobcat, you can rent the machine and own the results. Keep your business local. Stop by Bobcat Enterprises in Hilliard, Reynoldsburg, or Zanesville, and find current specials and our full line of products by visiting bobcatent.com today.
Do you feel that? The season is getting closer. Buckeye football comes your way in 14 days. Every game, every season. Proud to be your flagship home for Ohio State football. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Welcome to the plus side, where a AAA Plus membership means that an empty gas tank won't keep you from a full day, and where a dead battery can't stop you from being the life of the party. Because on the plus side, roadside mishaps don't have to ruin your day. With AAA Plus, tire changes, battery swaps, and emergency fuel are just a tap away. AAA gets to you faster, and if you need a tow, we'll take you further. Become a member today and experience peace of mind on the plus side. Towing is subject to a 7-day waiting period. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, welcome to IKEA's complete sleep event. Don't miss dreamy offers on sleep essentials.
I've tried carrying sheep, but keep losing track.
We've got you. IKEA family members save 15% off your purchase of $300 or more on select sleep comfort items. Plus, we're throwing a pajama party in-store on August 31st. Wear your favorite PJs for a free breakfast.
Ooh, we have matching PJs.
Don't wait. Go to IKEA-USA.com/bettersleep or visit your local store today. Offer valid August 7th through September 10th. U.S. only. See store and IKEA-USA.com for full details and eligible items. Restrictions apply.
It's back to school